Everything you have built took years. What unmakes it takes weeks. Your health, a career, a forest, an empire, and that asymmetry is not bad luck. It's a shape, and it has a name. Around the year 64, the Roman philosopher Seneca wrote a line that keeps coming back. Growth, he said, is slow, but the way to ruin is rapid. He meant it as consolation for the fragility of things. 2,000 years later, a physicist named Ugo Bardi noticed that Seneca had described a curve that shows up in fisheries, in mines, in markets, in empires. He called it the Seneca Cliff. We expect things to fall the way they rose, gently, in reverse, but they almost never do. Picture a hill you climb for 100 years and a cliff you descend in 10. Same system, same rules, two completely different slopes. Here is the part that matters. While a system grows, it quietly accumulates 3 things. First, it eats the easy stuff first. The richest ore, the shallowest oil, the best soil. What's left is always harder. Second, it piles up what it discards, waste, debt, damage, the bill it hasn't paid yet. And third, it grows structure, bureaucracy, maintenance, infrastructure, costs that keep coming even when growth stops. On the way up, these are invisible. On the way down, all 3 push in the same direction. The archaeologist Joseph Tainter put it another way. Societies solve problems by adding complexity, more rules, more layers, more specialists. It works for a while, but each new layer costs more and returns less until, eventually, the cheapest option left is to stop being complex. That is what collapse is, not an explosion, a simplification. You can watch it happen in a single lifetime. For centuries, caught-off Newfoundland fed a continent. Then came bigger ships and better sonar, and the catch climbed to a record. 4 years later, it was gone. In 1992, the fishery closed. 30 years on, it has still not truly returned. The rise took 400 years. The fall took less than 10, and here is the cruel detail. No one ever feels the peak. From the top, the record catch looks like skill. The last cheap barrel looks like abundance. The final good year looks like the new normal. You only recognize the summit from below. So what do you do with a shape like that? Not panic. Panic is just collapse arriving early in your head. The lesson of the cliff is quieter and stranger. Resilience has to be built on the way up. Slack, redundancy, repair. All the things that look like waste while everything works. The systems that survive a Seneca cliff are the ones that gave something up before they had to. Seneca wasn't predicting the end of the world. He was describing how things break, slowly, then all at once. So look at what you're standing on, your work, your health, your city, your century, and ask the question the cliff always asks too late. What am I keeping because it looks like waste? There are 3 short reflections waiting. Start with the one on the peak nobody feels, and subscribe for the ones who think too much.